Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are going to be taking a look at none other than the DJ Custom Léon the Professional. Now this figure I have seen made by a ton of different customizers, but never one as a complete package by a proper third-party company. So yeah, I'm pretty darn excited to get this guy out here. Now I got mine from Comic Sanctorum. Do bear in mind, this is an unofficial product. I have popped the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video, this is a review on a figure I picked up for my own personal collection. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe and bell notification icon so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here of course we have the box art. It's simple yet very effective. It's a two-tone black and white, a silhouetted image of Léon front and center, the plant, his name down below, and DJ Custom on the side of the box. Another image of his face on the back, plus the various warnings. Now, when I lifted this top cover off for the first time, I was blown away. This piece of artwork should have all day long been on the front of the box. It is stunning. DJ Custom, going forward, if you have pieces of artwork like this, do yourselves a favor, put it on the front of the box, don't just hide it inside. Now, the top foam block does house a long black coat, and then we have Léon himself. Now, I personally didn't really know what to expect, because yes, I know it's a crime, I'd never seen the movie. But Mrs. Collection and I sat down and watched it, and now I'm super excited to add this guy to the collection. Now, he does have one foam block up on top, and another down below. So what we are going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Here we have all the parts and pieces, and as you can see, he comes with a ton of stuff. Now, starting off with the display base first, this is very similar to the old school Enterbay quarter scale display bases. You do have his name etched into a gorgeous chrome metal nameplate. Then the top of the display base is real brushed metal. Now my only complaint is this display base is very big, and Léon himself will be sitting towards the back end of the base on this crutch grabber, so the entire front portion is kind of wasted. DJ Custom, going forward, there's kind of no need to use display bases as big as this one is. As with any 1/6 scale figure, the head sculpt is a very important aspect. Here you just happen to get two of them. One with an open mouth expression and some battle damage on the surface, and the other that's more neutral. The likeness to Reno I think is absolutely there. The skin texture, the paint applications, the sculpt of the beard, and yes, even the hair. These sculpts check a lot of my boxes. I'm not quite sure which of the two I prefer just yet. Do let me know which one you like best though down in the comments below. To go along with those two head sculpts, you do get some very important accessories to complete the look. Starting off with the hat. It's a stretchy style fabric, so it should just slot onto his noggin, and he comes with his very clear framed round glasses. They are a translucent plastic with the lenses fully painted in. Don't worry, you will see both of these on the figure a little bit later on. However, if you don't actually want to display them on Léon, you do get his case. Now I'm pretty sure this is made of pleather, because something else on the figure is made of real leather. Now the case itself can open up as you would expect, and you have a ton of storage. You've got multiple elastic sections, these little drawers which yes actually do work, and a bunch of little clips to store his guns. Now up top you do have a bunch of smoke grenades and a couple of empty sections that technically you could use for anything. Now you do have some real working straps around the front, but that would require you to loop those pleather sections through these clasps, which isn't a super easy task, but I'm pretty happy that all of these weapons can fit in this case, so that means you don't have to go rifling through the box whenever you want to give him a different gun in the display. One super important accessory for me is the plant. Now, I'm happy that we got it, don't get me wrong, but it does look very fake. Now, you might be thinking, Justin, it's a 1/6 scale plant, how real could it honestly look? Well, my answer to that is the leaves are very thick and the paint applications on top do look a little bit cartoony. It's also not the right type of plant. If you go back and check the film, the plant is a little bit different. Nevertheless, you do have a pot down below, some soil up top, and then some nice washes down in the crevices of the leaves. But at the end of the day, this is still a pretty cartoony looking plant. Seeing as Léon does have multiple different looks in the movie, it's only right that we get those looks in 1/6 scale. You do get his long winter jacket plus his white shirt. Now don't worry, just like the other pieces, we will be trying these on the figure. Some of the more involved accessories are the cardboard ones. You do actually have to assemble them. Now, starting off with the brown paper shopping bag, it comes flat packed just like the milk cartons, which means you're going to have to fold it and glue it together. But once you do that, yeah, you do end up with a very convincing brown paper shopping bag in 1/6 scale. Now, the milk cartons are a little bit more involved. As you can see, there is some crazy origami level folding required. But once you sit down and take your time, yeah, this is the end result, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. The text is relatively HD, so up close it definitely holds up, and the color of the print is suitably vibrant. So when you have these on the display base, or even just poking out the top of the shopping bag, yeah, they definitely look the part. I have assembled one, but because it was so involved, I think I'm just going to stick with one. But you do, of course, get two in the box. All that talk about milk cartons, luckily they also include a glass of milk. The cup itself is translucent plastic, then you do have some white plastic that's been poured into the middle. So it actually looks like some cloudy white milk in a cup. Up top it's very glossy and you do have a couple of air bubbles. I don't really have any complaints with the cup of milk. I think it looks really good. If you've seen the movie, it makes sense that he comes with a ton of guns. Starting off with the M9s first, these are the exact same mold. They're painted really nicely, cast in a black plastic with a silver dry brush over the top. This one does have a little red dot towards the back for the safety. Now you can remove this additional piece on the front and remove the silencer if you decide you don't want them to be there. The magazines are removable on both, and yes, they do have a working slide. Although on these guns in particular, the slides are very stiff. Now, one of the more interesting pistols is this one right here. I do like the wooden grip, once again a working slide, and you can remove the magazine with some painted bullet detail on top. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this pistol is. If you know, let me know down below. This one, though, is one massive handgun. You do have a moving hammer section towards the back, and you can rotate the middle piece. This is also painted really nicely, cast once again in black with some silver dry brushing over the top. The last two are mostly silver. This one I'm pretty sure is Matilda's gun. You can once again move the hammer and open up the main section to reveal the sculpted in bullets. Plus, it does rotate. This one is also a very interesting design, a very long barrel and not as many moving parts and pieces. As far as I can tell, this magazine can't come out, although there does appear to be a little bit of a gap. So at the end of the day, that could just be stuck on mine. But one of the coolest things about including all of these guns is if you have other figures in the collection that you decide might need something like one of these that's included with this figure, you can of course accessory share. Or if you want to outfit that case, you can store pretty much all of these inside. They also give you a 1/6 scale pair of bolt cutters that actually work and function in the same way as real bolt cutters. The way they move is pretty much bang on. You do have a black plastic section up here for the blades, then it's silver, and then once again down to black for the handles. This, unfortunately, is a little bit too big to store in his case. But honestly, these are just really nice to have. Like the pistols, if you want to accessory share with other characters in your collection, these are just really nice real-world objects that I don't think we get to see a ton in 1/6 scale. Then lastly, we get a full complement of hands. I'm pretty sure these are DJ Custom's own design. I say that because the wrist peg sections are very deep, so when you peg them onto the wrist pegs, they pretty much entirely disappear, making for a much more seamless look. You will of course see that when we get the figure out here. The skin texture and the paint applications are very nice. These aren't those cheap and nasty waxy plastic hands that we usually see with third-party releases. What we are going to do now though is get Léon himself out here and take a closer look. Here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Although I have slotted one of the pistols into the holster on his vest. Now the vest is something that we do need to discuss, but we'll do that when we take him off the turntable. For now, yeah, I'm really happy with how this guy turned out. Is he the best figure I've ever seen? No, I don't think he is. There is some weirdness going on with the choice of body. I'm pretty sure this is DJ Custom's own design for a body, and the proportions are slightly funky. The neck is a little bit thin and slightly too small, and the shoulders are very, very broad. Now, when you take a look at pictures of Reno, he kind of does look that way, but this takes it to the extreme. At the end of the day, I still really do like the way this guy looks, as I said, but he's not 100% flawless. What we are going to do now though is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. Here we have him up close and personal. Now in just a second we will be trying out the long jacket, the white shirt, the sunglasses and the beanie for the alternate look. But before we do that, we do have to discuss the head sculpts and how they fit on the body. This one looks really good. It sits at pretty much the right height, it doesn't sit too low, nor does it sit too high. Now to switch it out for the battle damage one, I really like this neck connector. It can be removed from the head sculpt, so that means switching out the head sculpts is a breeze. Now I said earlier I didn't know which of the two sculpts I preferred. Well, I've since made up my mind. My favourite is the neutral expression. I love the battle damage one and how it fits with this particular outfit, but I think the likeness is slightly stronger on this one. I also said earlier that there were some real leather elements, and that's exactly what you're seeing right here. Now I can't 100% confirm that, but it does smell like real leather, and DJ Custom said specifically that this was real leather. It does look on the inside to, yes, be made of real leather, and that means this should stand the test of time. Plus, you do have even more accessories here. Some proper real metal bullets, an additional magazine, plus a real working switchblade, and a spot to store one of his many pistols. It hugs the body perfectly, and you do have some real metal clips and buckles to keep it all in place. In my collection, this is absolutely the outfit I'm going to have him displayed with. Now, the outfit itself is very simple. He does have a stretchy black long sleeve shirt that can be rolled up to expose some fully sculpted and painted forearms. Now, unfortunately, the black of the shirt is starting to rub off onto the skin. As you can see, there is a very small mark on the surface. Now, there are a multitude of ways that you can try and get that off, but for me, I'm just going to roll his sleeves down a little bit lower and cover that up. You can also see that the wrist peg is very nicely hidden by the hands. That gap is minimized as much as possible. Now coming down to the pants, they are literally just some black suit style pants, then underneath them some white socks, plus some very nicely sculpted and round brown leather style shoes. They are all made of sculpted plastic, but the texture makes them look like they are leather, fully painted laces, and some sculpted in stitching. Underneath that, yes, you do have some fully sculpted in treads. But for those wondering what he looks like in the other outfit, Now, on paper, I thought this outfit was going to take the win. It's arguably the more iconic of the two. But unfortunately, the way some of these pieces come together don't complement the body perfectly. Now, starting off with the beanie, it's got a point at the front and back, which means it doesn't sit on the head sculpt as well as I would like. Now, technically, you can rotate it to the side, but then he kind of looks like a pirate. So for me, I'll be going without the beanie. The glasses, though, are a must. These look awesome. They can, of course, very simply be removed. They just sit on top of his ears. Now, the long black winter jacket is just that, a long black jacket. You do have some press studs around the front if you do want to close it up, and some faux buttons on the outside. It is made of this very interesting material. It's kind of like it's been flocked because a bunch of these little black fuzzles are falling off everywhere, all over the shirt and all over my hands, plus the light box. So it is something that you do need to watch out for. You may have to lint roll this shirt. Now, the white shirt is, once again, very simple. It's literally a white shirt. Some faux buttons up top and a split collar that is ever so slightly weathered. But other than that, the rest of the outfit pretty much remains the same. Now, for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have two badass guns for hire. One in the form of the Hot Toys John Wick, and the other in Léon the Professional. And as you can see, they are pretty much the exact same height, which is almost true to life. In real life, Jean Reno is ever so slightly taller than Keanu, but it's very, very slight. So here in figure format, yeah, this absolutely works for me. I have no problems whatsoever displaying these two side by side. Just going over articulation. Now, bear in mind, this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I am willing to go. Now, starting off with the head sculpt, it's on a ball joint at the base of the head itself. Swivels side to side, looking forward and back, but let's be honest, mostly back, and then some pivot. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back, butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down. You do have a swivel up here at the bicep, double bend at the elbow that gets you past 90, plus a regular 1/6 scale wrist peg. The torso will crunch forward and back, but only a little. Swivel and pivot side to side. The legs will go forward to there, they will go out to there. Swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee that does go past 90, and lastly a double ball peg down here for the ankle. Just wrapping up on the DJ Custom Léon the Professional. Now, going into this, I was really excited. I've only seen this movie for the first time recently. I know, it's an absolute crime, but I loved it, and for the most part, I love this figure too. That doesn't mean he's perfect though. I think the battle damage head sculpt is good, but it's not as good as the neutral expression one, in terms of how it fits on the body and the likeness. Speaking of the body, it's kind of a little bit weird. It's got a very thin neck and a very boxy frame, but you can work around that with the long winter jacket on. It doesn't look as goofy. But at the end of the day, that is something you have to be aware of. You do, however, get a real leather vest and gun belt, a ton of guns, plus a bunch of other smaller accessories, and a little bit of DIY arts and crafts with the milk carton and the brown paper bag. So if you want something that's going to keep you involved, yeah, this figure is it. But all joking aside, I am very, very happy with how this guy turned out. I have no problems whatsoever popping this figure in the display. Now, don't forget, this is a third-party, unlicensed, unofficial product. I got mine from Comic Sanctorum. I have put the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video, this is a review on a figure I picked up for my own personal collection. While you're down in the description, why not check out the join icon right next to the subscribe icon. If you're interested in getting your name featured in the end credits of every video, Justin's Collection Plus Max, the channel memberships, is the place to look. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.